know what part of the country you're in. I'm in Dallas, Texas, and it is cold in Dallas, Texas. All right. I mean, like when it gets cold in Dallas, we get like wind. We had a little Santa bear fly out in the middle of the road yesterday from our front yard. Evidently, Dad didn't put him down enough in the ground. So Martina went out and rescued little Santa bear, and everything is good. It's so good to see each and every single one of you. Greg Goad, what's up, bro? Good to see you, brother. Come on now. Great to see everybody this morning. Hey, we're going to dive right in. 2025, I want you to write something down right now as we get started. You ready? Write this down. 2025 isn't happening to you. You're going to go create it. Everybody write that down. 2025 isn't happening to you. You're going to go create it. Now, that doesn't mean that things aren't going to happen in 2025 that are out of your control, because they are. Does everybody agree with me on that? There are going to be things in 2025 that you do not have control of. What you do have control of, everybody write it down, is how you respond to whatever happens. So when I say 2025 isn't happening to you, that's what I mean. You are the one that gets to control what 2025 looks like. Couple things today I want you to write down as well. 2025 is going to show up the way you show up. Write it down. Come on. It's going to show up the way that you show up. Okay? And I'm going to challenge you to show up. I'm going to challenge you to be present. I'm going to challenge you to be consistent. And that's where we're starting today on the call as we kick it off today. We're going to talk about what does that look like and how do we be. Everybody on the planet today is thinking about one word, and it's called your health. How many of you have had your health cross your mind as you're walking into 2025? Anybody?
Yep.
Okay. Now, we're going to talk today about health, but what I want you to know is over the course of this month, as we kind of lean into health, it's not just going to be about our body, although that's a vital part. Okay. One of the great minds out there in real estate always says this. He says, if you and I don't take care of our bodies, where are we going to live? Okay. That's a pretty good statement. Yes. Okay. So we've got to take care of in here, because it's everything in here that leads to the productivity out there. Once you're sick, you're too late. Okay. So we've got to be healthy, but it's much more than just being healthy in our bodies. It's being healthy in our mind. It's being healthy in our spirit.
Hold on.
It's being healthy.
Let's get dressed first, okay?
Healthy in our relationships, right? Okay. It's being healthy in our business. All right. How many of you, by raise of hands today, would say you are healthy in every one of those areas? Anybody? Okay, good. You're on the right call today, because we're going to start to lean into every one of those areas. You guys get an incredible opportunity today to hear from one of my favorite people. She is a defined coach. She has been a dear friend of mine for the last, Jenny, it's been like 20 years. Come on now. We were young. We were young. But Jenny and I met about 20 years ago when I was a tennis professional. She has been in the health and wellness industry for the last 25, 30 years. And she's going to pour into you for the next few minutes today and talk to you about why your health is so important to your productivity and being able to visualize what you want your days to look like and your year to look like, that it starts mentally, it starts in our bodies, it starts internally, and then it goes externally. So I'm going to hand it over to Jenny, and then I'm going to come back in and tie all this up for us. But I want you to really, really lean in with her as she talks to you about today, the starting point of how do you have a healthy life? How do you have a healthy business? Because the first thing that will rob your wealth is your health. So Jenny, I'm turning it on to you.
Absolutely.
Everybody give a big hand to Jenny. Here we go.
Thank you, Dusty. Do I get to be on the big screen?
It's all yours. We're going to make you on the big screen. You ready? It's coming.
Okay.
You are officially on the big screen. Go for it.
Awesome. It's good to see everybody. Happy 2025. Actually, this is the biggest group I've had this year. So this is exciting. And I'm kind of glad that it's cold, because that means you're all here with me and you're not out running around. So I get everybody in attendance. But just like Dusty said, this is a busy time for us in the health and wellness industry and in fitness. So I've been a fitness specialist for such a long time. Every January is a big month. It's a big month for me to kind of get people on the right track. January is really busy. February is not so busy. So, what I want to do for you guys is to kind of tie all of that in so that we can see how it's not necessarily us that is missing our goals or that's not reaching our goals. It's probably your systems. It's the way that you're doing things that don't really align with you. They don't align with your family. And we're pushing things and we're pushing agendas that are not really going to work for you in the beginning anyway. So we really kind of live in like a immediate return society. We want something fast. We want something quick. And especially in the form of health and wellness, we want to see results tomorrow. Like if your exercise program's not working for you, you're going to quit by February, March. By the time you realize, hey, that goal really didn't work for me, that really didn't work for me, I'm going to go ahead and quit that. So we want an immediate return. We want something that we're going to see it next week. I feel better, I look better, and we're going to chime along that way. So it's really kind of hard for us in the fitness industry to keep people on track. So what I want to do for you is find a way to keep you on track. It's not necessarily the program that you're doing or the program that you're following, because we've got lots of information out there about health and wellness, like almost information overload. We've got this diet, that diet, vegetarian diet, but those type of things will help keep you on some sort of track. But it's really easy if we're not seeing that immediate return to quit. So we want to kind of change your system and we want to change your mindset. So if you're not acting like a healthy person, eventually that system will not work for you. If you haven't identified yourself as a healthy person or a fit person, you're more likely to quit whatever that is. So what I want to do for you is I want to change behavior, make behavioral changes. So there's three things: behavioral change, mindset, and visualization. So if you don't change behavior, obviously, in your business, in your fitness, in your family, if you don't change behavior as a more positive, by the end of the year, we'll still be in the same place. Like, do you wake up in the morning and think, I don't want to be in this same place in January 2026? We're going to have to make behavioral changes in order to reach that goal. And they may be a 1% change. It doesn't have to be I'm going to go in, with both feet. I'm going to make a 1% change every day. And that's going to be positive. Mindset changes. If we don't change our mindset, like saying, I'm unhealthy, I can never reach this goal. Well, you don't have to be unhealthy every day. If you change your mindset as, you know what, I'm healthy today. It doesn't matter if I was unhealthy yesterday, or it doesn't matter if I ate bad yesterday. Today is a new day. We spend so much time waiting for something to start something. We wait for January 1st to start a new program, or to start lead gen in our business, or start meeting, at our office to be more productive in our business, to meet at the gym with some friends. January 1st, we're all going to do that. Or we start on Monday. Like, don't wait for something. What about this afternoon? This afternoon is a moment. We can start this afternoon to be more healthy, make healthier choices. I have a lot of my clients write down what you're going to do tomorrow. Instead of what you're going to do today, what are we going to do tomorrow? Because if it doesn't align with where we're at right now, we're more likely to not reach that goal. And also the last thing is visualization. Those three things, like if we cannot visualize ourselves to change, it's really hard to make that change. And we're going to work a little bit on that today. So you have like incentives. Incentives are things that can start a habit, and your identity is things that sustain a habit. So we can have an incentive like, I need to lose weight, or I need to get healthy. Or one thing is, my doctor tells me, hey, you have to reach this goal. You have no alternative. That's your incentive. Changing your identity to be more healthy, or to eat healthy, or to make better choices, or to be somebody who goes to the gym. It doesn't have to be a gym. It could be outside. Whatever it is, you have to change your identity from where you're at right now and find systems in place that help keep that churning and keep the longevity of whatever that goal is. So there's two things: incentives, start a habit, and your identity, the things that you change, the things that you adapt, the habits that you accumulate, those keep you, make it a habit. So let's say you're not somebody who goes to the gym, it's just really not your thing. Like, we don't have to go to a gym, buy an expensive trainer, go to the grocery store, buy everything in the store that creates a healthy habit, everything that you've heard of. We can just do one thing. You can just start going for a walk. Like, we all know, I can ask any overweight, unhealthy person, give me 10 things you know about fitness and wellness, and they can give me 10 really good things. Apply one of those things a day. After 10 days, you have 10 good, healthy habits. And what are those 10 things? So we have behavioral change. Let's kind of go back to that a little bit. And that's the first thing of the three things that we're going to jump on all week is behavioral changes. There's 4 laws of behavioral change, and I want to kind of tap into those. One of them is make it obvious. That's one thing that we're talking about. Number 2, make it attractive. Number 3, make it easy. And number 4, make it satisfying. So write those things down. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. So we can look at all of this in health and wellness, but we can also look at this in our business. If we're not healthy, what's the first thing that's going to happen to our business? It's going to slow down. If I don't take care of me, if I'm sick, if I'm tired, if I'm at the doctor and I cannot produce, if I can't lead my business or lead my team because I'm sick or I'm tired, that's the first thing. So that's going to make it obvious. My job is lacking. My home life is lacking. I need to do things, and my doctor tells me I need to step up the game in my health and wellness. Make it attractive. Okay, what is it? Why? I want to be more healthy for my kids. I want to look better. I want to feel better. I want to sleep better. These things to make it attractive. Number 3, make it easy. So if it's too hard, I'm going to go start CrossFit. I've never done CrossFit before. I'm going to go run a marathon. I've never ran before. These things, these systems that you're going to put in place are not going to work for you. They're actually going to make your goal fail. So don't put things in that are outside of your reach. Make it easier for you. Those one things that you're going to do every day. It's easy for me to walk 20 minutes a day. It's hard for me to go run a marathon in a week. So don't make your goals so big and overdone. Make them something that you can do. And this is what I do for my clients is I schedule their goals to reach where they're at in their journey on their fitness. And then make it satisfying. So it has to be something that you're going to get rewarded with. You're not going to be rewarded with stopping. You actually get rewarded with maybe once a month you get a massage. Maybe, you can spend more time with your kids, or you go on a vacation that you wouldn't have done if you weren't more fit. So one thing that I do with my clients, and this is something that actually I'm going to do with you today, and I want you to kind of take a minute and think of you. I want you to visually see yourself in a position to be more healthy, which will turn around and give you more productivity. Now, we see this a lot in the Olympics with athletes. They visualize, they close their eyes, and they actually see themselves performing their task that they've trained themselves to do. They don't see themselves, they may see themselves tripping up, they may see themselves not prepared, but what visualization helps you do is to find the roadblocks in your day that are going to identify ways for you to be more successful tomorrow. So I want everybody to take a minute and remember the things that I've said: behavioral changes, mindset, visualization, 4 laws of behavioral change, which are make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. So I want everybody to take a minute. You can close your eyes if you want to. I think it really does help if you close your eyes. But I want you to visualize your day tomorrow. So if we close our eyes, we wake up in the morning, how do you feel? When your eyes open, are you tired? Are you sore? Is it hard to get up out of bed in the morning? Or do you wake up vibrant and full of energy? What is the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning? You move to the kitchen, say you make some coffee. What is your normal routine? How do you go to work? Do you take your kids on your way? Do you go to work? Do you have a team there? What does that look like for you? When you get to work, you have lunchtime. What does lunch look like? Do you work through lunch? Do you have a working lunch? Do you eat with a team? Do you eat by yourself? Do you bring your lunch or do you go out? These things are habit for you that you've created. Then you move on to the afternoon. What does your afternoon look like? Are you stressed out? Does your team stress you out? Work stress you out? Do you pick your kids up from school or not? Do you stay at work late? Do you do paperwork? What does that actually look like? And then 4 o'clock rolls around. What does that look like? Are you at home by this time? Are you picking your kids up? Where are you? And then you get to evening. Do you make dinner? Are you running behind like I always am? What does that look like for you at the end of your day? How do you finish your day? Now, this is a 24-hour period. I want everybody to open their eyes and think about that for a minute. Do you see yourself healthy in that day? When you wake up in the morning, do you think every day, oh, my body hurts? I'm tired today. I'm always tired. So those are things that you want to visually see, that you say, okay, tomorrow I don't want to be that way. What am I going to do today to fix this for tomorrow? Every day I get to work and I'm stressed out. I have a stressful environment. How are we going to change these? You cannot pinpoint your systems that are not working until you visually see yourself changing them. So I want to challenge you guys to do that this week. I'll be seeing you again next week. And next week, what we'll really do is get into what does that actually look like to be more healthy and more active and have more wellness in your life. Now, I can't change everything. If your doctor gives you a protocol, I can't necessarily change that. But what I can do is change the way you approach each day to be healthier. And ultimately, that will give you more production at work so you can be also wealthier. That's the idea, right? So, Dusty, I'm going to take that back over to you. I think that was about 14 minutes.
You nailed it, Jenny. Hey, so I want to hear from a few of you real quick. What are some things you just pulled away from what Jenny talked about when you think about your life, when you think about your business, visualizing your day? The first time Jenny did this with me and I started visualizing my day, I want you to know that I did not like what I saw. Did anybody else have that? Like when I thought about what my day actually looked like as compared to what I wanted my day to look like, how many of you that was it for you? Okay. Let's hear from a couple of you. What are some of the takeaways you pulled out from what Jenny gave you? And then I'll give you a little bit more here before we wrap up. Raise your digital hand. What do we got? Cherie, go for it.
Happy New Year to you guys.
You too,
Happy New
man.
Year.
So I just want to tell you, so I was a little late coming on, but I was so excited to hear what you had to say. Um,
Oh,
this idea of the incentive starting the habit, and the identity is what you use to help to sustain the habit. That was everything, because we know that self-awareness is key, right? And so the idea that we see ourselves um, doing the things and being the thing that we want to be is the motivation that naturally comes about that. And then of course the visualization. Um for me, that was so key, because as we build our goals and we have our habits, um it's so important to see ourselves as that future self, right?
right.
And so that was just a great reminder. And then when you said, if you're sick you can't produce,
Yeah.
Right.
oops,
Yeah.
if you're sick you can't produce.
Neither can
So,
your kids, for that
and
matter.
yes, so that was really powerful for me. And I can't wait to step into this next week. And I'm not even, so when Dusty just talked about looking at your, what do you see your day being like, and how many people, didn't see the right thing. I think I raised my hand for that more so than talking right now, but it all works because accountability is everything. So
That's right.
um get out of
Cherie,
my
thank
head,
you.
Dusty. Get out of my head.
You're welcome. I'm here, Cherie. Hey, everybody write this down. There's beauty in becoming. That's what we're doing. Okay. We have to become what we want before we become that.
Yep.
I'm going to say that again. You have to become what you want before you become that. That's why Jenny did the visualization, right? That's why it's incentive and identity. That identity is what pulls that with you. So, Brent, what do you got, brother?
Hey, I figured I would share something real quick. I know that I've been talking to Dusty and Jenny for a little bit, especially Jenny, about health. And, I did post on Facebook the other day that the road to success is always under construction. And it's a quote by Lily Tomlin, who's an awesome comedian. But I had a health, and Jenny knows, and Dusty I had a health scare. I had a heart attack last May. So I just came here from the gym. So I'm getting in there and I'm doing it. It's 5 days a week, and I'm eating right and doing the things and doing that. But it's, I think we kind of take for granted what's going on in our lives with our health, and we put that on the back burner, and it's
Right.
we can't do that. And just to share something personally, my wife and I, it's like, hey, she didn't even know how to pay the bills. Like if I had died, and it's one of those things. And then yesterday, my wife wakes me up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and our best friends, Chad and Beverly, Chad died in his sleep last night.
Oh.
And now I'm having to help them through that. I'm having to help them, like, where do you get cremated and all these things. It's like, and we don't know if we have tomorrow. We've got to take care of ourselves, and we've got to take this seriously.
Yeah.
And we're not promised another day. So
We are a non-negotiable.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. We have people that are counting on us.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brent, thank you, brother. You'll give Brent a hand. Thank you for sharing that, Brent. And Jenny, what you just said right there, I think is so key. We have to be a non-negotiable. We live in a world that kind of we pride ourselves on kind of wringing ourselves out and giving for everybody else. And everybody hear me, like I'm all in for that, right? Like my entire mission in life is to wring myself out and give. And if I'm not healthy, I can't do that, right? It affects way more than just me. Brent's heart attack, his health scare, affected way more than just Brent, right? Affected his 2 little boys, affected his bride, affected his business, affected Michael, right? And so it's vitally important that we do make ourselves a non-negotiable. So I want to ask you a couple questions here, okay? And I want you to really, really think about this. Because Jenny said something so important earlier. She said it's not about getting it all done, right? It's 1%. Can we get 1% better than we were yesterday, right? Okay, like we're not going to go run a marathon this week. All right, I don't think anybody. Okay, because if you are, it's because you had a series of habits that have led you to be able to accomplish that, right?
And lots of 1%.
That's right. It's the little things, right? And I've said this on a call before, but if everybody will look at a door wherever you're at, okay, that door is held up by something. What's it held up by? Anybody? What's holding your door up there?
Hinges.
The hinges. It's not the frame. The frame is where it sits, okay? So for instance, Jenny in Health and Wellness can give you a framework to show you this is how you create a healthy lifestyle. We can give you a framework for your business and go, hey, this is how you create a healthy business. If you want to do it in this direction or that direction, those are frameworks. The habits are the hinges, okay? The hinges are what make that door operate in the manner it was created to operate. If you take the hinges off of a door, you no longer have a door. Okay? You got a piece of wood that sits up against the wall or lays down on the ground. It no longer operates the way it was intended. For you and I, those hinges are the little habits in our lives. So here's the questions I want to ask you. Okay? What is one thing that is not being done right now in your health that if it were being done, it would start to radically change your health? What's one thing? One thing. What's one thing you can do today? Jenny said, hey, I could go walk for 20 minutes. Maybe that's a starting point. Maybe you're 10 minutes. Okay. Jenny she gives this great example. She says, leave your tennis shoes by the door. meaning put them on and go for a walk. You can do that. Okay? You with me? And maybe today you can walk for 10 minutes, but next week you can walk for 15. And the next week you can walk for 20. It's the habits that we've got to start creating. Brent said he just got back from the gym. That's a habit. Okay. It's got to be a non-negotiable habit so that my health improves. I want you to ask the same question around your relationships. What's one thing that's not being done in a key relationship you have that if it were being done would radically change that relationship? One thing. What's one thing that's not being done in a relationship that you have that if you were to begin to do it would radically change the relationship? Okay. How about your spirit? How about in here? What's one thing in your spirit that if you were to begin to lean into it would radically change your spirit? Okay. You with me? Hey, and everybody hear me. All of these things play together. My health plays into my spirit. My spirit plays into my relationships. My relationships play into my spirit, right? Are you with me? Okay. How about the condition of your heart? Okay. I'm talking about your physical heart and I'm talking about your spiritual heart. Like, what's the condition of it? And what's one thing you could do that such by doing it, it would radically change the condition of your heart? One thing. Okay. And then the same thing on your business. What's one thing that you are not doing in your business today that if you were to begin doing it right now today, it would start to radically change your business? One thing. You with me? How many of you were able just to identify one thing in each one of those areas? Okay. As we go into 2025, here's where you start. You start right there. That one thing. That one thing. Like Jenny just dropped this over in the chat box. She said, go for a walk every day for 20 minutes. Do you know what just doing that one thing would do for you physically? Okay. You with me? All right. My commitment is, and I'm saying this in front of Jenny so she knows, I'm committed to get my heart rate up at least 30 minutes every single day. And not my heart rate up because I got anxious about something. Not my heart rate up because the business deal went sideways. My heart rate up because I actually do a physical activity that gets my heart rate up. Are you with me? Okay. What's one thing you can do in every key area? Your heart, your mind, your body, your spirit, your relationships, your business, your lead generation, you name it. Pick one thing. Go do that one thing. That's getting 1% better. Can we all commit to that today? Okay. Jenny, anything you want to leave them with before we hop off?
Well, I was just thinking when you were talking about getting your heart rate up for 30 minutes every single day. So when we get our heart rate up, your body transports oxygen, the use of blood and blood oxygen. So you actually can decrease your stress hormone, which is your cortisol levels, just by doing something simple like that. So we have a high stressful job. We're all realtors. We have a big team that we're running. We run on high stress. Our cortisol levels are high. A lot. The better condition you're in and the stronger your heart is to transport oxygen, the faster that cortisol level can come back down. Doesn't mean you're not ever going to hit a stressful moment or ever go through something stressful, but how you handle that stress simply by walking and using your heart for 30 minutes every single day in an aerobic capacity will help you handle all of life's stresses. So it's not just about being healthy and wealthy so I look good and so I'm fit and trim, which is a bonus, but also how your body handles stress will decrease. We're not going to get rid of our team. We're not going to get rid of our family. We're not going to not drive on the tollway. So we're not going to get rid of those external stresses, but the way our body handles it will become much, much easier. So huge benefits.
Come on now. Who knew cortisol did that much? Who knew? I didn't know. Okay.
Automatic stress hormone. Bing.
Hey, I love you. Bless you. We'll be back next week. We're going to be pouring in even more on how you be healthy, how your business is healthy, how your relationships are healthy. Come on, go get them today. Let's go. 2025 will show up the way you do. Take care. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.